Hey, it's U5, C1.L8 Slope. Just slope. Here's Mrs. Benoit.
Hi. Yes, we are talking about slope today, and this actually connects very closely to the last lesson of Unit 5 before the test, which was rate of change. Your target for today is that you will be able to say you can use tables and graphs to find slope. So we've just changed rate of change to slope. And you will be able to solve a problem like this by the end of today's lesson. Don't copy it now. I'm not going to talk about it now, but you see a problem with a table. You'll see that again at the end. Okay, so what is slope? Another definition for you here. Slope is the rate of change between any 2 points on a line. And rate of change was your term from the last lesson. Okay, when we're talking about rate of change, we're talking about your change in y, which is your vertical change, over your change in x, which is the horizontal change. And it's very important that you remember this for slope as well, putting y on top and then finding the difference and then x. So if we look at a problem here, we've got the number of seconds it takes to hear thunder after a lightning strike. And we have a table here that shows the miles and the seconds. Remember, Mr. Romanovich said in the last video that in tables with your units, the variables that go with are x and y, and x comes before y in the alphabet, so x would be on top in a horizontal table or first in a vertical table to the left. This is horizontal, so miles is x, seconds is y. And we have values for miles and values for seconds. So I have a grid right here. We're going to set up the graph. You're going to need to know from this point on what goes on the x-axis and what goes on the y-axis. And that's why we're helping you learn where to put the x and where to put the y in the table. So x is miles. So on our x-axis, we're going to write miles. And look at your values. You're counting by ones. So we're going to do that down here as well, starting 0 for the origin, of course. And then each grid line will be 1. We'll go up to 6. That's what I have here. And then our y-axis will be seconds. And these are counting by 5, so we're going to do that on our graph as well. I'm not going to skip any lines. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That should be good. Okay, I'm going to use a table to make a graph. So I'm going to plot my points. I have 0 miles for 0 seconds. And for 5 seconds, we have 1 mile. For 2 miles, we have 10 seconds. 3 miles, 15 seconds. And 4 miles, 20 seconds. Okay? Now, to find slope, we're going to use the idea that Mr. Romanovich showed you in rate of change. And you're going to choose any 2 points on that line to help you find the change in y over the change in x. So I'm just going to randomly circle these 2 here. Okay? And what I've circled then I'm going to write as ordered pairs over here. Remember, you move horizontally first. So I circled 2, 10, which you can see in my table here, and 3, 15. It becomes change in y over change in x, and I'm going to write that. So we're going to take the y values first and subtract. Those come second in our ordered pairs, okay? We're going to do 15 minus 10 over 3 minus 2. 15 minus 10 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So it's 5 seconds per mile. Now, to put that answer into words to explain what this means, for 5 seconds per mile, for every 5 seconds between thunder and lightning, you are 1 mile away from that lightning strike. That's what that means, okay? Remember, we've been explaining in words what these rates mean, so that's how you would put that in words. Okay, we're going to look at the same problem, but just if it was a table. And we didn't have to make a graph. We're not going to use the points and pull them off into ordered pairs. We can pull ordered pairs out of the table. In fact, I'll pull the same ordered pairs out that I used in the last problem, okay? So x and y, we have it labeled here, miles is x, seconds is y. I'm going to write my ordered pairs with x first, y second, x first, y second. Change in x, oh, I'm sorry, change in y over change in x. And our y values come second in our ordered pairs. So we're going to do 15 minus 10 over 3 minus 2. 15 minus 10 is 5, 3 minus 2 is 1. So we get to that same answer of 5 seconds per mile just by pulling the values out of the table and writing the ordered pairs. You can do either way. If the problem specifically asks you to do a graph, then you have to do the graph. All right, so let's see if you can hit our target. Can you use tables and graphs to find a slope? So we're going to ask you to do both for this problem. In this problem, we're asking you to look at the table that shows the number of markers per box. Graph the data and find the slope of the line. So you see our boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our number of markers, 8, 16, 24, and 32. And we've also labeled up here for you what is X, the boxes, and what is Y to help you set up your graph. Good luck.